That was Henry Mancini's Experiment in Terror, the William Penn Five doing Swami, and Junior Kimbrough with Tramp. Mark Sloan, thanks for having me here at the Halsey Institute of Contemporary Art. How are you, you old son of a gun and such and such?
I'm doing great. Nice to see you, Mr. Bonetangles. You're looking fabulous, I might add.
I'm feeling fabulous. Now you, sir, are the director and chief curator of this place, the Halsey Institute of Contemporary Art, right?
That's correct.
Terrific. Now, I'm going to assume that not all of our listeners know what is up as much as hipsters like you and me. So why don't you tell us in a nutshell what the Halsey is and why someone should check it out?
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
course.
The Halsey Institute of Contemporary Art is a non-collecting museum. We show the work of contemporary artists from all over the world with a specialty of showing the work of emerging, mid-career, and oddly overlooked artists. We have a residency program, we do publications, videos, we also have an extensive educational outreach program, taking artists out into schools, that sort of thing. So it's sort of a typical contemporary art museum for a city, and that's what we provide for the city of Charleston.
Right on, man. The city is lucky to have you. And the Halsey is a pretty big deal here in Charleston. While you do support the emerging and smaller arts organizations, the Halsey is one of the anchors of Charleston's arts community. And while I'm happy that it's here, and everyone should be happy that the Halsey is here, and the other sort of cornerstone organizations of the arts world are in place and well supported here in Charleston, I wonder where you see small artists, emerging artists, individual artists like me, and this is a selfish question, of course, but where do you see us finding support? Where should we go?
I think you should band together and plot a coup, an overthrow. Nothing short of revolution will do.
That's excellent. How long have you been here?
I've been at the Halsey for 22 years.
22 years? Okay, that's some longevity. That's some terrific institutional memory, if you will. I wonder, in that experience, how have you seen the arts growing or changing in Charleston over the years?
Well, that's a great question. Charleston has really experienced something of a renaissance. It's a bit of a cliche to say it that way, but I do think that we've reached critical mass in terms of the number of people who are here and the creative people who have an expectation of a certain level of contemporary art in the city. You've seen the rise in restaurants and theater groups and arts organizations, number of artists moving here, also the tech sector with lots of people moving in from other cities who really are interested in what's going on in contemporary culture. So that creates an environment that I think is a very rich broth, and that's something that I think the community here should embrace and celebrate.
I couldn't agree more, and I'm here to partake in that broth, if I may. Just a little puppet spoon for me, and I hope, along with my puppet friends, to gain some sort of some measure of respect, recognition for puppets in particular. Maybe we can get a puppet on city council.
Oh, what a fantastic idea. You know, that's really a fantastic thing. I think I would suggest that to Mayor Tecklenburg. I think he would really like that.
I'm calling his hotline right after this interview.
Great.
Well, that's something that I'm excited about, but I'm wondering, you're a man with your finger on the pulse of it all. From the perspective of a curator and a man in the know, what's coming up that you are excited about?
Oh boy, there's so many things. It's hard to know where to start. We're bringing in a really fantastic exhibition of a local Charlestonian in January, the work of Ronald Wayne Ramsey. He's a self-proclaimed, self-taught preservationist and artist who walks the streets of Charleston looking for condemned buildings, and he secrets his way in after they've been condemned, and he releases or liberates some of the architectural features of that house or that structure and puts them in his storage unit in West Ashley. We're going to be showing some of his drawings and paintings as well as some of the objects that he's collected from these condemned buildings. It's called Ahead of the Wrecking Ball, the art of Ronald Wayne Ramsey. I hope you'll come see that.
Oh, I'll be there. Ahead of the Wrecking Ball. Ronald Wayne Ramsey. Okay, that sounds amazing. And I have to say, congratulations, Mark Sloan. You've answered all of the questions correctly today.
Thank you.
Which means we are in a position to offer you a position as chief curator of puppet radio shows for the Charleston Ghoul show.
Wow.
Yeah, wow, indeed. You didn't see that coming.
No.
Your primary responsibility in this position is to interpret and to describe a live 1-minute puppet show for the enjoyment of our radio audience. Do you accept the offer?
Boy, that is a challenge, but I will give it my very best shot.
Excellent. We are so happy to have you on board.
Thank you.
All right, Mark, I'll leave you to your task, and I'll be back in just a minute.
So my job is to describe this puppet show. What I'm seeing here are 3 puppets, 3 distinct puppets. One with a television screen around its head, looks like a giant doll head, with a kind of a crazy mouth, and a doll's body with some sort of a helmet on and antennas. Another puppet is just a human face, or a cast of a human face. That's looking kind of creepy but beautiful. And then there's a third puppet, which is a tall string bean of a puppet, which has an expandable neck. It looks like a giant grapefruit at the top with hair on top, and a big mouth with large teeth and a bandana, and perhaps sort of a Western-themed outfit, but looking like he's drinking. He's got a bottle of Jack Daniels that he's carrying around and drinking. So that's the overall description, but they seem to be dancing, and they're sort of playful, and they're dancing with each other, but also kind of looking at each other and creating a little conversation. What's that I see? Oh, there's a ring at the doorbell rang. Let's see what's happening. Okay, so they're going to the door. It's a policeman. Oh, they're telling him to quiet down. They're making entirely too much noise. And oh, what's that? Oh, it's an ambulance is coming up. So there must be some other action in the neighborhood, or perhaps it's somewhere else in the house. I don't know. It's hard to say. But the puppets are reacting. Yeah, that's good. Well, they're in a little bit of a panic now because they think that it might be their party upstairs, that something's happening. Although one puppet is going down, he's going downstairs to the basement to check it out. Okay, and then let's see. At 1 minute?
We're at 2 minutes.
I was describing a 1 minute thing.
I know, it went fast, didn't it? That should be good.
What are you doing in here? Oh, you work here. Hey, how did it go? How was the puppet show?
It was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it.
Excellent. I didn't get to see it myself. There's just so much to do in this town anymore. So, what does it mean, Mr. Curator? What is your interpretation of the puppet show?
Well, as with any work of art, there are multiple interpretations. But what I can tell you from what I saw and just my own personal reaction was that it was a group of bored teenagers in suburban America expressing their ennui, their boredom, their abject boredom with society, with life, with no opportunities, no options. And I think one of the things that was most striking to me was the fact that the police came to break up their boredom. And so to me, what that means is the authority that these young people should succumb to authority and get in line with the rest of the culture and become like robots like the rest of us. That's what I think.
Nailed it. This is why we hired the guy. You see, we find good people to do good work on this show. Thank you, Mark Sloan. That was a perfect description and interpretation of the puppet action happening here in the library at the Halsey Institute for Contemporary Art. You, sir, have a great day. Thank you for your time. Good luck with all of your hard work here at the Halsey. And now, a quick pause for station identification.
You're listening to WOHM Charleston, 96.3 Ohm Radio.